Paralysis, poison, and KOs. This status build turns every hunt into a monster beatdown. In this video, I'll be showing you guys a game-breaking status build that lets you stun lock monsters so hard they barely get to move.
Help me!
This build takes full advantage of the foray skill and Monster Hunter Wild's new 2-weapon system, allowing you to carry both poison and paralysis weapons at the same time for non-stop crowd control. With this setup, you can paralyze and KO monsters into submission or poison them for extra damage, all while gaining huge attack buffs with foray. It's ridiculously fun to use this build, and today I'll walk you through the armor pieces, weapons, and key strategies you can do to get the most out of this build. So now, let's talk about the armor pieces you'll need. The best part? You can farm this set very early in high rank, making it very easy to put together. For the core pieces, we'll be using the Rathian Alpha Male, Vambraces, and Waist, which provide us with the foray skill, and it also comes with a great group skill bonus, Master Mounter. For the helm and legs, we'll be equipping the Bulachi Specs and the Chatacabra Greaves. Both give us weakness exploit. These two armor pieces are very easy to farm, but as you progress through the game, you'll want to upgrade them for better versions with higher defense and weakness exploit. But for now, these will do. For the charm, we'll be equipping the Exploiter Charm, which gives us an extra level of weakness exploit. With this setup, our build will have foray level 4, weakness exploit level 3, and the Master Mounter group skill. Now this build only has one level 1 deco slot, and I chose to equip the shockproof deco to avoid getting tripped by teammates during multiplayer hunts. Now you might be wondering, why prioritize weakness exploit over more foray? The reason is simple. Foray is only active when the monster is poisoned or paralyzed, but weakness exploit gives us a constant affinity boost when hitting weak spots, which will help us apply more status effects through critical hits. That's because we're going to be using the Rathian Sword and Shield for our poison weapon. This weapon is an absolute beast. It comes with the Poison Duration Up skill, which extends poison effects by 20%. This will in turn keep foray active for much longer. But more importantly, it comes with critical status level 3, which massively increases poison buildup when landing critical hits. That means the more we crit, the faster we'll be applying poison. This weapon also has 3 deco slots, a level 3, level 2, and a level 1 slot, which gives us a lot of flexibility. So I chose to equip a Crit Eye and Airborne level 3 deco, a Crit Eye level 2 deco, and a Crit Boost level 1 deco to further boost our affinity and damage. For the paralysis weapon, we'll be equipping the Lalabarina Sword and Shield. This weapon comes with Crit Draw level 2 and Critical Status level 1, which only slightly increases paralysis buildup on crits. Now, since its status application isn't as strong as the Rathian weapon, which has crit status level 3, I made up for it by equipping the Paralyzer Jewel level 3, which increases our paralysis buildup even more. And the remaining slots were used for additional crit eye skills, making sure we land as many critical hits as possible. Now with the build covered, let's move on to the best part, the strategy. I chose the Sword and Shield for this build because it's one of the best weapons for applying abnormal status effects quickly. With this setup, you'll be able to paralyze or poison the monster up to 3 times per hunt, which is insane. But what makes this build even crazier is that you can also KO monsters.
He needs some milk!
In most hunts, you'll be able to knock out monsters at least twice, and when the monster is down, this gives you even more freedom to wail on the monster and apply even more status buildup. So, how do you play this build effectively? The strategy is quite simple. Once you paralyze the monster, immediately go for a Shield Bash combo to build up KO damage and then quickly transition into a Perfect Rush combo for big damage. Using this combo string, you'll be able to take full advantage of the foray skill while it's still active. When in the air, you can either go for a shield slam finisher to build up more KO damage, or use the triangle plus circle attack to land multiple hits while coming down, further applying more status buildup. But status and KOs are not the only way to keep the monster immobilized using this build. You still have a ton of other options. You can pop wounds on the monster's legs to knock them down, or use the Master Mounter skill to mount them easily. Using this build, you can chain a lot of status effects together to effectively lock down the monster. Sometimes right after paralyzing the monster, you'll be able to knock them out immediately. And sometimes it feels like cheating. It's just an endless cycle of monster abuse. Now keep in mind that the status weapon you choose to equip will depend on the monster's weakness. Some monsters are more susceptible to poison, while others get paralyzed more easily. You can check out this info in the Large Monster Field Guide, so before heading out into a hunt, just make sure to equip the most effective weapon for the job. To make this build even better, I also have my Palico equipped with a Lalabarina weapon, so that even if I'm using a poison weapon, my Palico will still build up paralysis for me. This is such a great bonus, because it also activates foray for me without me having to switch weapons, allowing me to get the best of both worlds. Alternatively, you can ask your hunting buddy to equip a different status weapon. So if you're running with poison, they can equip a paralysis weapon, so both of you can build up a different status together. My friend was using a paralysis weapon while I was using a poison SNS, and we were able to bully the monster. We were paralyzing, poisoning, and knocking out monsters left and right, and it was a lot of fun. But the only downside is that if the monster gets paralyzed and poisoned at the same time, the effects of foray is essentially shortened. If the monster gets poisoned and paralyzed at different times, foray would have activated twice during that hunt. But these are just minor stuff. This build is still hands down one of the most fun and broken setups I ever did in Monster Hunter Wilds. And if you love controlling the monster and stun locking it in place, this build is for you. It's incredibly satisfying to see monsters completely helpless, and once you get the rhythm of applying status effects, you'll feel like you're in total command of every hunt. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more fun builds in Monster Hunter Wilds, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. I'll be showcasing more fun builds in the upcoming videos, so don't miss out. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.